It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Conversations with Joan. Conversations with Joan will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Conversations with Joan. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Conversations with Joan focuses on topics that are important to your life, from health and wellness to professional development to personal well-being. Changemakers join me to share their insights, tips, and strategies so you can thrive and live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. Now, let's start talking. One of the books that has changed my life is The 4 Agreements, and I'm honored to have Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of that book, joining us today. Don Miguel has been on the show before to talk about The 4 Agreements, and now he's back to discuss his new book, The 3 Questions. In The 3 Questions, Don Miguel asks us to consider 3 essential questions that drive our lives and govern our spiritual power. Don Miguel is a renowned spiritual teacher and international best-selling author. Welcome, Don Miguel. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, it's a big pleasure to be once again with you and in your show, and all my love for you and for everybody who is listening to us.
Well, thank you so much. And as I said in the introduction, your book, The 4 Agreements, it changed my life. And I want to begin this conversation by encouraging our listeners to read that book and to go to our website, CYACYL.com, and click on demand so you can listen to our previous interview, because it really is a life-changing book. And now I want to discuss your new book, The 3 Questions, which I know is dear to your heart. You say that by asking these 3 questions, we can get in touch with our power within. Why do you believe these questions that we're going to talk about are so important?
Well, with these questions, we can take us to what we really are. And what is very interesting is that this question is changing all the time. It's never the same answer. And this just 3 simple questions. What am I? What is real? And what is love? In order to answer those questions, I propose to use the 5 agreements. Be impeccable with the word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, always do your best, and be skeptical, but learn to listen. If we use these 5 agreements to answer those questions, we really can guide our life and have a very, very happy life. Because, as you know, we are the artists who wrote the story of our life, and he's writing it every single moment. And as you see, the first question, what am I, is changing all the time, because to answer the question when we are 10 years old is completely different as when we are 15 or 17 or the 30s or 40s or right now, whatever is our age. Mm-hmm. It's always changing. What is real change completely, or world change all the time. The way we see society or family, etc., change completely also in the time that we are growing. And the most important one, perhaps, is what is love? And in order to answer these questions, we have to find out first what is not. Like in order to find what we are, we have to find out what we are not. Mm-hmm. Because we used to believe that we are everything that we believe about us and what everybody believes about us. But if we take away what we know that we are not, what is left is what we really are. And like I said before, it's changing all the time. And the same thing of what is real, if we take away whatever is not real, the only thing left is what is real. And when we accept that reality, we really can enjoy it instead of go against the reality. We are part of the reality, and we really enjoy every single moment. And the same with love. If we know what love is not, then we will see what love really is. And that really takes us to our complete happiness, that we can enjoy every single moment of our life.
So, Don Miguel, looking at these questions a little bit more deeply, the first one, who, what am I? This is something that You hear people saying that they're asking themselves, they're always searching to really understand who they are. And you write that we cling to the perception of who we believe we are. And you say that it's when we do this, when we keep clinging to this false perception, that new discoveries are impossible. So, how do we move past that then? How do we get rid of those stubborn beliefs?
Well, that's why I say that we use these 5 agreements in order to answer those questions. You know, when we try to find out what am I, and we are impeccable with the work, we will take all those lies away from what we believe we are. And whatever is real, it stays there. And whatever opinion everybody has, it will, if we don't take anything personally, we are so sure of what we are, because nobody really knows what we are. And many times, not even ourselves know what we are. Yet after you take everything that we are not, we will find out that we really don't know what we are. But we are, we exist, and that is the truth.
And
We will
this,
find out that what, yes, go ahead.
well, this requires us to be very vulnerable, to bare ourselves, to be honest with ourselves.
Well, what makes us vulnerable is what people believe about us, what we believe about ourselves, and we try to hide it, because all these lies only survive until the truth arrives. Mm-hmm. But the truth really makes us very strong. Then when we know more about ourselves, we will not really accept other people's opinion in order to rule our life. And that really makes us very strong. But to admit to ourselves what we are not, it feels like we are weak, but it's not true. That makes us strong. Because when we accept what we really feel that we are, instead of being the victim, we become the heroes who can face any situation and win in every situation.
I recently did an interview with someone where we were talking about envy and how we allow envy to govern our life because we're always looking at someone else and wishing we had more. But do you believe when we really understand who we are and we're comfortable in that knowledge, and it's not a perception, it's a true knowing, do you believe then that's when we can stop looking at others and wishing for more in our life? We're content with what we are and who we are.
Well, I think it's very simple. That envy exists because we believe that we don't deserve what other people have. And then we envy what they have. But if we speak with the truth, we really don't need what other people have, because we can have that even more if we really care about to have what we wish to have. Then envy only make us feel inferior to other people. But when you're really good about what you think about yourself, you really don't envy anybody, because you're very comfortable with yourself, with your reality, and also with the way you love yourself. But when you love yourself unconditionally, there's nothing to envy to anything.
Right. And when you have that love, when you have that knowledge, that would lead you, I would assume, naturally to understanding what's real and what is just a belief or a perception of what we think is real.
Yes, and that concept of reality is changing all the time. It's never the same. It has a lot to do with our perception, the way we perceive reality, and our reaction of what we perceive, which is what all our beliefs about that reality. When we find out that that reality is only ours, and we accept it, we don't have to go against that reality. We can ride with that reality and even enjoy every change in our reality. But of course, we only can do that when we really love ourselves with that condition.
That's the key, because we love ourselves, we love others with condition. And that is the problem. I'll love myself when I lose weight. I'll love myself when I get a better job. I'll love you when you do this. And that's when we really don't get to experience that deep, soul encompassing love that's out there for us.
Yeah, we can say that the problem is that we learn to love the same way that everybody around us loves. We learn to love the way our parents love each other, about how they love their family, about everybody around love each other. And if you see, it's always with condition, which is not really love. Then when we take away what love is not, the only thing that will be left is unconditional love. Mm-hmm. And many people say, well, where is that unconditional love? I never see it. But, when you have a newborn baby in your hands, especially if it's yours, you love that baby without any conditions. You don't expect anything from your baby. You are even willing to give all your life for that baby. And when we love ourselves the same way that we love that baby, everything changed for us. And like I say, you cannot give what you don't have. And if you love yourself with conditions, just the way you described a little before, you will love everybody else also with conditions. And by loving with conditions, we can understand the whole drama of the entire humanity, because we try to control other people's life, other people's being, because we want them to do what we want. And we don't respect what they believe, what they are, what they do. Then to love without conditions, it makes the whole difference for ourselves. And that makes us extremely strong, because now we can love without expecting anything, and we don't have the need that anybody love us. But it doesn't mean that we don't accept love. Of course, we accept love. This, like I said before, make you even stronger than before.
Del Miguel, we all spend so much time looking out there to make us happy, to fulfill us, to complete us. But listening to you, it's really so simple. It all begins with how we see ourselves, how we love ourselves. It starts with us. And when we understand that, we are so powerful.
Then once that you get that equilibrium with yourself, everything is so easy. You live in peace. And you live in peace because you respect yourself 100%. You respect what you believe you are. You respect your reality. And you respect everything that you believe. You respect you. And when you apply that to other people, you love it unconditionally. You respect what they are. You respect what they believe. You don't try to control them. And of course, you will not allow anybody to control you, because you love yourself so much that you will not allow any disrespect from anybody else. Then your happiness depends completely in you. Nobody can make you happy. But if you listen what they do, if you believe what they say, they really can make you unhappy.
You know the fast-paced life that we're living today. Everyone is in constant motion. They're not taking the time to ask these types of questions, to really understand the direction of their life. And because of that pace of life, what do you think that is doing to us, to ourselves, to our relationships? How do we get people to slow down?
Well, you cannot, because they live that way, and it's okay. This is not a problem. As you say, they live in very fast. They hold those ideas, everything that is happening around you, and they believe everything. They have all those emotional reactions. It's like it's a hurricane around you. But you don't need to have that hurricane inside yourself. Because when you love yourself without conditions, when you accept your own reality, and when you are what you believe you are, then everything changes completely. It's like you're living in the center of the hurricane. And in the center of the hurricane is always peace. There's not all those emotions, there's not that actions, reactions. But if you start being part of everybody around you, then you become part of the hurricane. And then you can lose your own peace, your own inner peace. And you get out of the center of the hurricane and become part of the hurricane. When you become part of the hurricane, you are as part of everybody else. You react emotionally to everything that happens around you, and you lose that tranquility, that peace with yourself.
Don Miguel, what you teach seems so easy, and yet it's so hard for so many people. From everything you've experienced in your life, what can you say to help someone awaken and really begin to live his or her life?
The most important is that they need to relearn how to love themselves, to start loving themselves with conditions, that they don't have to be in a certain way to be accepted by themselves. Then you don't have to be what you believe you are. You know, it's like the dogs and the cats. They don't know that they are dogs, they don't know they are cats. They're dogs and cats because we call them that way, but they don't know what they are, and they really don't care. In our case, we know that we are humans, we know the way we should be, we know the way we want it to be, but we are not, and we know that. And we cannot forgive ourselves for not being the way we should be. We cannot forgive ourselves for not for loving ourselves with conditions, which is the main problem. Then when we can love ourselves without conditions, then everything will change right away. If we can just accept ourselves just the way we are, just like magic, everything start changing. And we don't have to look for happiness, because as soon as we love ourselves just the way we are, now we are happy without looking for happiness.
The book is The 3 Questions, How to Discover and Master the Power Within by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you would like to get more information about the book or Don Miguel, you can visit his website, miguelruiz.com. Don Miguel, in our final moments, what is the takeaway? What would you like to leave our listeners with?
Well, I would like to let them know that they can change the world that they create. They can change the story because they are the ones who created it. They're the creators. And the way to change their story is not trying to change all the secondary characters, but to change the main character, which means what they believe they are. If they're able to change themselves in that way, just like I say a little before, just like magic, the whole life starts changing and starts shifting, and yes, they can change the world. And that's the reason why I ask everybody that please help us to change the world, your own world, the one that you create, the only one that you really can change.
Don Miguel, thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing your wisdom and your insight. Your work is changing so many lives, and you are welcome here anytime you'd like to come back. It has been such an honor to have you here, so thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
We'll be right back.